What's up YouTube? For today's video we have a Miraidon team. Today I'm going to be using 6 Miraidon with all 6 unique movesets. Throughout this video I've included some free shiny Miraidon codes here, and they're going to be a first come first serve basis there. So if you did get one, let me know in the comments if you did get one of them from my video. I'm just trying to help a few people out there because obviously the event was a complete disaster. Let's get into it, everyone. So I've got some really great battles today. I've got 5 battles with this team, and they were actually quite good. Making Pokemon like Miraidon have, you know, difficult sets was quite hard to do too. You know, outside just the normal Electro-Just spam set that everyone has used before. All right, first Pokemon we got here is a Gliscor. So I went for the Taunt just in case they did go for Stealth Rock or Toxic or something like that. However, they are going to go for Earthquake, which is fine because I've got a Pokemon just for that, and it's my Shiny Miraidon. So Shiny Miraidon is more of a Chrome style color as well. Now, this is a weakness policy. Did I call that Koraidon? I went Miraidon. Oh my goodness, I'm getting mixed up. I've got this weakness policy Miraidon, and it's a physical set, and it's actually pretty good considering. So I've got a free weakness policy there. Now I've got Terra Flying, so I'm assuming Gliscor's going to go for Earthquake again. So I'll go for Flying there, and then I'll go for Sword Dance. So then I'll have +4 in attack. Since my weakness policy has now been consumed, I can go for a Acrobatics at full base power with Terra Flying. So this is the PIMPNITE physical set, and it's actually pretty good. It's by no means as good as the special one, but it's got some good sweeping capabilities. So Gliscor is going to get absolutely dominated there, and that's a pretty good start to the battle. That was the good thing about this team. I knew that I could easily bait out a ground move like Earthquake. All right, in comes Metagross. Metagross will not take me out with Bullet Punch. It's going to go for something else, and it is going to get absolutely wiped by Supercell Slam. It was so fast, the animation. Next Pokemon's going to be Electros, so we've got a sweep going here, physical Miraidon sweep. Durex Triple XL's come out here, and now we've got a Terra. So I'm wondering, what Terra is this going to have? And unfortunately for me, it was Terra Steel. Now, I went for Dragon Claw this turn because it was going to be neutral. I actually got a critical hit there, but it still was not enough to take it out. Electros is going to finish me off with a Thunderbolt, which is pretty ironic, and that's the end of my Miraidon. But, you know, a pretty good set there. I reckon try out physical Miraidon as well. I think you might be quite surprised by it. It does get Sword Dance and some good stuff there. Next Pokemon is Miraidon number 2. The other ones, obviously you could nickname. This is actually like an agility Electro Ball set, which is pretty fun to use as well. Now, there was like an event I've seen. It was called like Crescendo something. I forgot the name of it. Where it was only 2 Pokemon. You could use a Miraidon or Koraidon and then another Pokemon. You pick one or the other and then have another Pokemon. It's like like one of those online tournaments. So I might do a stream of that for something fun whenever that starts. Would you like to see that as a stream? Let me know. In comes Noivern here. Noivern is going to get paralyzed, and it's going to be able to hit me with Dragon Pulse. So I should go over some of my EVs as well. So for the physical set, the physical Miraidon, that was max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature. And you've seen all the moves there, Terra Flying. Miraidon 3, this one was a Choice Band set. Supercell Slam, U-Turn, Heavy Slam, and Outrage. Terra Steel, and we got we got some pretty good capabilities there with U-Turn and Supercell Slam, hitting quite hard with the electric terrain on the field. So in comes Scarlet here. I hit a really good amount of damage there with Outrage, and it's going to go for Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball being a 3-hit KO against Miraidon. Miraidon's got some great natural bulk there. So Scarlet is going to go down to a couple of Outrages. It was pretty funny using this team too, because most people expect just the special set, and I caught a lot of players off guard and stuff like that. It was quite fun to see how they could try and adapt to that. All right, the last Pokemon is Greninja, which is a bit of a rest in peace for them. I'm going to go into Miraidon 1 here. So Miraidon 1 was... That was a Focus Sash set, but I couldn't really use that one at all. I'll actually get to show that as as the battle goes on and stuff like that. Miraidon 4 is the next one we're going to use here. This is a physical set, and it was straight booty, so I couldn't do much at all. I had Thunderwave, so I thought I'll paralyze this Greninja. And this set was around like paralyzing the opponent, going for Confuse Ray, setting up a sub for a dub, and then spamming Zen Headbutt for flinch. And it had wide lens as well. Sadly, I got freeze hacks by Greninja, so my set that was meant to spread, paralysis of hacks ended up getting hacks itself there. So there was absolutely nothing I could do. They finished me off there with Water Shuriken. So it was a bit of bad luck there, sadly. So that's the end of my Miraidon. I was a bit salty about that, but that's how it is. I've got 2 more Miraidons left. So I thought, all right, what I'll do is I'll send in the other Miraidon. I haven't actually used Miraidon. This one. No, this is my band set. Bandit set, not band set. It's so powerful it got banned. All right, we're going to go for a U-turn here, and that is going to be the end of Greninja. Nice fat U-turn. That is the end of the first battle. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you to my random opponent too. Almost got the physical Miraidon sweep. I was very, very close. The Scarlet Edge might have stopped me there. All right, next battle here. This is a battle against Snores? I don't know how to say this one. Anyway, we're going to Petra Leader. If you want to support the channel, people, hit that like button. Tell me what you think of Miraidon. Just drop me a comment in general. How's your day or night going there? And if you did get a code from this video too, let me know too. I try and help as many people out as I can, So I claim one of the codes each, and then I've given tons away. So it feels good to be able to help people out. But I wish I had some more and to give out, and I wish they handled that event better. It was an absolute disaster. Maybe there'll be enough backlash so they do the events online next time. Not the card events. All right, so first Pokemon here we got is Petra. Now, this Miraidon 2, let me explain, it was a Thunder Wave and Electro Ball set. I had Magnet as the item, Terra Blast Grass, and Agility. A Terra Blast Grass was simply there so I could hit ground-type Pokemon so I wouldn't get walled. Petra is going to be swapping out here, and we got, I don't know what some of these nicknames even mean, by the way, and I'm poisoned anyway by the Petra. So this is probably like a speed boost stored power set, so I thought at least if I can get a paralyze on there, that will be useful, and I did. So I managed to get the Thunder Wave on the Esparta. Now, Esparta generally will use Calm Mind, and then he'll have a combination of Calm Mind and speed boost for stored power. It's very, very powerful. And it doesn't require a lot of setup either. Generally, you run them defensive, right? If you want to see how to run that, I've done a Esparta sweep and moveset guide on that. It's a pretty straightforward Pokemon that works well. I've got Electro Ball now, and even with a Calm Mind up, it is going to do a lot of damage because I'm a lot faster. Electro Ball is all based around how fast you are compared to the opponent. And plus I've got Electric Terrain up too. So great damage there for Electro Ball. We've got the Esparta setting up a second Calm Mind now. So they've got plus 2 in special attack, plus 2 in special defense, and they've got plus 2 in speed on this turn as well. So, they're ready to go with stored power. So I've got Electro Ball. I'm going to snap out a Confusion here, which is good. And I was hoping I could get them very close, and I did. So that was pretty good. They've got Dazzling Gleam here to feint me. So generally, Dazzling Gleam is the coverage move to Dark-type Pokemon and a Sparta, right? So one Miraidon is down, and we actually have a Life Orb damage there. So I think it just held on there. It's going to get another speed boost here, but Miraidon is such a fast Pokemon. It's not going to be able to outspeed it, which is good because they could have easily now have gone, stored power 5 times in a row, right? This is my Focus Sash Miraidon, only up here to our shadow, with Miracle. Now I do want to give a shout out here. Now I was doing a battle one day with my members, some random battles, and I was battling someone who had a Miraidon, right? And I used an attacking move, and they used Focus Sash, and then they Mirror Coated me. So this is a shout out to that random person. They got me good with it. They used the PIMPNITE special set on me, right? And they got me good. The cool thing about Mirror Coat and Counter, they actually bypass Terrapagus' ability too, which is really cool. They just didn't do enough damage to me, sadly, there for me to one-shot, but just a cool little bit of information there, something you wouldn't get to see very often. So that is the end of Terrapagus. Very, very easy there, bypassing its ability. Obviously, Parabolic Charge was there to get my health back if I didn't consume my Focus Sash, right? Charge was a, power-up charge, Parabolic Charge, and Taunt was just there for any, Pokemon that would try and set up against me and stuff. It actually worked pretty well. So we've got a Paralyze there on Peachy the Mochi, a Peachy Mochi. Oh, that wouldn't taste very good. I've had Mochi before. I didn't really like them. It was like chewing on Shrek's. Well, So I'm going to go for a Taunt here just in case it's got Recover, because a lot of them do. I haven't really seen it use that yet. It seems to be more of a sweeping set, but it could have that. That's not going to do a lot of damage to me. So the electricity has gone now. I'm just going to swap that out and use it later on. I felt like maybe I might need that. So going into Miraidon number 5 here. This is probably the best set on my team. More immediate power, or closest to a standard set you could use. So you can use a Choice Spec set, a Choice Scarf set. This is actually a Throat Spray set, but it's pretty good actually. So we've got Snarl and Throat Spray to boost up its enormous special attack already. And I've also got in this one its signature move, Electro Drift. I mean, I had to put that on one of them. It'd be a bit weird if I didn't put, its signature move there on at least one of them. But I only put it on one because, it's a very, very powerful move. The other moves I got are Terra Blast and it's Terra Blast Fairy, which is a good defensive type for Miraidon. And I put Dragon Pulse on there too. I didn't really want Draco Meteor because, that would sort of get rid of my Snarl boost. So finishing off the Mochi Pokemon, which is good. And that's half their team down. So at the moment, I've got a pretty good lead here, Things are going fairly well. Next Pokemon is going to be Appletun. Now, I could go for an apple pie right now. Oh, that nice pastry, that apple. Who likes apple pie? Let me know. It's I want to say it's probably my favorite dessert, like a bit of apple pie and custard or ice cream. All right, anyway, man, I'm making myself hungry. All right, we've got a Terra Steel Appletun here. This is a pretty cool set. So I just went for Dragon Pulse here. I thought they may have a defensive Terra, but I was like, it's still going to do heaps, right? So they've got Ripen. Citrus Berry. So as you can see, that did like a huge amount of healing there. And they've got Leech Seed. Sadly for them, they did miss that Leech Seed. So at this stage, I thought, well, I'm going to swap out here. I'm going to go into Miraidon 1. I want to see what this set is actually all about before I get rid of my best set. So they're going to go for a recycle. So they're going to recycle that Citrus Berry. And they're going to get that back. So the electricity's also disappeared as well. I wasn't sure if they'd Protect either. I thought they would try and use Protect. And then I went for Electro Drift, and it wouldn't be as powerful the next turn. So I taunted them. I thought that was a good idea to taunt them. I thought, well, gee, I could go Charge here. And I might be able to get some health back with Parabolic Charge. And I might even be able to use Mirror Coat if they've got something like Apple Acid or Dragon Pulse, something like that, right? They've got Giga Drain, which does make sense. And that's not quite going to feint me there. That was actually a critical hit too. So obviously they've got they've got everything invested in bulk there, or the majority of it. So I've got Parabolic Charge, which will do some good damage there, and I almost one-shotted them with it. So that was, if the Electric Train was on the field, that definitely would have, one-shot. They're going to get their Ripen again there. They're going to get their Citrus Berry back. All that double health there, which is nice. And they're going to go for Giga Drain here, but pretty much I've got them here because I resist Giga Drain, and it seems to be that they don't have, Dragon Pulse or anything like that. So they're going to shake off that taunt there. I'm going to go for Charge here because even if they go for Leech Seed, I can just go for Parabolic Charge afterwards. It doesn't matter. And I feel like at that stage, they're just going to attack me for some damage there. They know that I've got Taunt. But Taunt's actually pretty good on Miraidon. Even on a competitive set, I found it to be a very, very handy move on it. Just because it's so fast. Like, with a Taunt Pokemon, I always felt like Pokemon that were fast were good for Taunt, and that's about it. All the others weren't really all that good. Unless it was situational sort of like rules and movesets or abilities that, got around that. Next Pokemon is going to be Blaziken. Now, this was actually a pretty scary Pokemon. I did a Miraidon team yesterday. If you did watch the video, a full team of Miraidons, and I actually came across a Blaziken too, which was quite similar to this. Well, it was a similar sort of thing, you know. It was a speed boost sword dance set. So I swapped out my other set. I knew they'd go protect that turn. There wasn't much. I could have gone for a charge look, but they would have outsped me. So I swapped into my other Miraidon 4. So this is my terrible, terrible set. But it actually was kind of good here. So first things first, I was like, I'm not going to attack them. I'm going to go for Confuse Ray because I want to make them hit themselves with Confusion Ray. Now this set had I'm going to be completely honest with you. This set had a lot of failures, really a lot of failures, because confusion rate wasn't all that good, and I tried to do some trolling, you know. So we got that confusion, guys. Like, all right, I'm gonna go for Thunder Wave now. They've got a sword dance up here, and they've got another projectile. So at this stage, Blaziken is going to outspeed me. I mean, it would have outsped me anyway. So I wasn't, wasn't expecting to outspeed it regardless. As soon as I seen it, I knew it'd be protect. So now I'm going to swap my Miraidon out. And I thought you're probably going to attack. So I'll go into Miraidon 1 here and see what you're going to do for, what attacks you guys. It's either going to be a fighting move. Generally, it's like, close combat, flare, blitz, those sort of moves. So it's going to go for close combat. And that is doing a no-joke amount of damage there. So that's Miraidon down. So now I really need to focus on getting rid of this. Does it have Focus Sash? Does it not? You know, that sort of thing. Because it can run Focus Sash, and other times it doesn't, you know. So going to my physical Miraidon here, as you know, this is a Terra Flying set. Now, I really did consider going for Terra Flying. I actually really did, but I thought maybe that'll be a mistake. So I was like, they're still confused. Let's see if I can feint them, right? Surely they're going to hit themselves soon. But they're going to go for close combat. And they're going to one-shot me. So I probably could have gone for Terra Flying there, absolutely. But the only thing is, I would have gone for Acrobatics with the item, and it most definitely wouldn't have fainted. Plus, what if they had Weakness Policy as well? That could have been a disaster, right? So, you got to think about these things. So we got 3 more Pokemon left. We got Miraidon 4. Now, Miraidon 4 is the Terra Psychic Zen Headbutt set. So I thought, all right, this is a good opportunity as ever to try and make this terrible set work, right? I was serious, right? If I didn't have this physical Miraidon, I've called Miraidon Koraidon and Koraidon Miraidon so many times. You guys know what I'm talking about. So we got that Zen Headbutt on Miraidon. It's going to snap out of Confusion and never got hit in Confusion once. Here comes the close combat. That does an enormous amount of damage to me, as expected. And I'm going to go for Zen Headbutt. I did think about going for Thunder Wave, but I thought, well, you've got Speed Boost up. There's no point, right? Thankfully, it didn't have a Focus Sash, and it one-shotted. So the physical Miraidon coming in absolute clutch here. Next Pokemon is going to be Primarina. Now, funny enough, I don't have an electric move at all to save my life. So I was like, well, look, I'll just go for Thunder Wave here. I'll paralyze the Primarina. If you get paralyzed this turn, that's great. I can spam Zen Headbutt. If not, I've got some other ones in the back. Here comes a Shadow Ball, and that'll be enough to take me out. Primarina has got a good special attack, and that it was super effective as well, me being a Psychic type. All right, but good stuff there. The physical Miraidon really helped me out. I've got two of these left. So we got Miraidon 3. I actually hadn't used this in this battle. So this is the Choice Band set. So went for Supercell Slam, absolutely dropped, and that's the end of Primarina. And that's also the end of the battle. Thank you to my random opponent, Mix. I don't even know how to say Mix Snores? I don't know. All right, battle number 3. This one's a random battle again. This one's against Jabberee. This was a good battle too. All right, so we got a Grimmsnarl lead here. So I seen Grimmsnarl in the team preview, and I thought there's a good chance you're going to throw Light Screen up turn 1, right? Like most other people. I had Heavy Slam, but I did think about this for quite a while. I was like, I'm going to go for Supercell Slam just in case you don't do Light Screen. So instead of that, they went for a Parting Shot, which is a common move Grimmsnarl has as well. So Grimmsnarl's going to swap out there instead of setting a screen up. Now, the Pokemon that come in here is going to be Rillaboom. So my attack is going to do hardly anything to it. Plus, they've got Grassy Surge there to get rid of the terrain too. So This Rillaboom caused me quite a few problems. So first things first, I missed my attack, so that really, really sucked. And I was also choice banded as well, so I thought, well, I have to swap that out. You know, that's going to be completely useless, going to do no damage whatsoever. So I went into Miraidon 4. Now, as I explained to you guys before, this was the terrible... Let me just check that. This was the terrible, terrible Zen Headbutt, you know, Confuse Ray set. So I started seeing the Rillaboom setting up bulk ups here. I'm like, okay, you've probably just got a Drain Punch set. That's what they typically are. Works well across the board. So first thing I did was go for Thunder Wave there. So Thunder Wave is going to be useful. It's going to buy me some turns. Maybe they get paralyzed there. The main thing I wanted to do to them was make them hit themselves with Confusion Ray. So I could go, you know, Confuse Ray, Parafusion, and then spam Zen Headbutt for flinches. That was the whole point of this set. And, you know, the only thing about Rillaboom is it is quite a bulky Pokemon, plus they use bulk up too. So I wasn't going to do a lot of damage to them with Zen Headbutt. That was more about flinches and stuff. So I guess I needed a couple of confusion hits there. So I threw up the sub here to hopefully get the dub and also avoid any damage at all. And they're going to use Drum Beating. So Drum Beating is going to drop Miraidon speed if I didn't have sub. So that was another reason I put this, the substitute up too. That is going to fade my substitute because I am running a little bit more of a sweeping set here. So I went for Zen Headbutt. I was like, bugger it. They're not hitting themselves in confusion. I'm going to try and get some damage on the right. So Zen Headbutt did a little bit of damage, and they're going to get through the Parafusion again and get Drum Beating. And of course, that one actually crits me there. So it's like, so I wasn't having a very good time at the moment. Like nothing was going my way at all, which does happen sometimes with these type of sets. So I was tossing up here, thinking, is at any point even keeping this in? Do I just sack it? Do I just spam Zen Headbutt and sack it? What do I do? Will it be useful at maybe a later part of the battle? I don't really know. I was getting a lot of paralyzers, which was good, but I wasn't dealing a lot of damage to it because they had leftovers, which didn't help, and Zen Headbutt wasn't doing much either. So I would have preferred to get a few hits in confusion, that sort of thing. So I had one last go at it. I was like, well, I've just got enough to get a sub off here, and they're going to snap out of confusion. And they have Body Slam as well. So they've got bulk up, bulk up, and then Drain Punch, I think, and Body Slam. So that was the whole move set there. I guess they tried to disrespect me with Body Slam, right? So Rillaboom is virtually back to full health again, and I really haven't achieved a lot with this set because nothing went my way. So it's like, all right, let's go for a final confusion. This is gonna. I'm really gonna get it this time, all right? It's really gonna happen, hopefully. So now Rillaboom is confused. Like, all right, here we go. Back to back hitting yourself in confusion. Let's get this W, And he got paralyzed again. I'm like, all right, well, at least that wasn't all that bad. Rillaboom, I probably would need. I was wondering, like, what would even a critical hit do? It's like, this is not working, all right? So I saved my Miraidon for later on, right? I thought that might be as good as a swap-in Pokemon or a sack Pokemon because it just didn't work. I'm going to get rid of this thing now. It's starting to get annoying, right? So we got the Rillaboom confused, and it got Drain Punch off. Of course it did, and that's all of its health back there. So nothing worked at all. Rillaboom is back to where it was from the start, so it was a disaster. So this set has got U-Turn and Outrage. I thought about going for Outrage, but like, nah, I'll go for U-Turn. We'll get some damage here, right? And then I'll probably go into my special attacking set and finish them off. I didn't want to use my special attacking set like right away against, like sweat it out right away against them. But as I said, my physical set completely failed there. Nothing worked. So we're getting some Paralyze. That actually was a good turn for a Paralyze. That's probably the best turn I got throughout the entire matchup there, to be honest. So I got a nice free swap in. So this has got Snarl. I thought I'll go Snarl first and get some special attack boost, and then I'll finish it off. That's going to be the the good strat here to actually go for. Even if it does get a Drain Punch off, I'm confident I can take it out with a Dragon Pulse the next time. They're going to opt to go for Drum Beating this time, probably just to drop my speed, which is fair. Miraidon's a very, very fast Pokemon, and they've actually got a few fast Pokemon on their team as well. Now, I could go for Dragon Pulse here. I thought there's no point in them swapping into Grimmsnarl here. They probably don't want to. And I finally got rid of the stupid Rillaboom. Oh my god. I could have got rid of it a lot easier with the special set, but I tried for the physical one and, you know, but so here comes Grimmsnarl. Are they going to go for Light Screen this turn, or are they just going to go for Parting Shot? And they're going to go for Parting Shot. That didn't really worry me all that much because Miraidon special attack was only dropped one stage, and that was the stage I gave it. So that was okay to me. Next Pokemon here is going to be Lucario, called Lucky. Yeah, you're right. You were lucky with that Rillaboom. I'm going to go for the Electro Drift, and of course, Lucario is absolutely not going to live that. It's a very, very powerful attack. So that's the end of Lucario. I wasn't really worried about Lucario at all. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Gyarados. Now, this was the biggest bait of the century. Obviously, they're going to go for Terra Ground here. I knew that. Or at least, you know, at least, you know, hope that I go for an electric type move. So, they've got the Terra Ground. Obviously, they're going to go for Dragon Dance this turn, right? You know, Ground is a great Terra on Gyarados, and it's great for baiting out electric type moves there, or just getting yourself a free Dragon Dance up for a, you know, for a Moxie set. So I'm thinking here, well, Gyarados definitely at least has a ground move. It's either got Terra Blast, Earthquake, something like that. It has to have one of those moves. They have Waterfall, I'd say, and they might have something like, you know, Ice Fang or some sort of covering move. I was hoping they didn't have Scale Shot, though, because Scale Shot generally meant that, you know, it was an easy counter for this team. So I swapped in Miraidon 4 here. I just wanted to see what they were going to do. I was just happy to sack this off here. And it had Bulldoze. Like, oh, okay, fair enough. That's going to drop speed. I mean, with enough Moxies, it's still going to be a very, very powerful move as well. You know, Gyarados is a very, very good sweeper with Dragon Dance and Moxie. It's also got Shell Bell as its item too, so it's doing some recovery. So I need to get rid of this right now. So the Pokemon that I've got here, I actually thought about going into my physical set, you know, the Terra Flying one, physical, but I thought it's going to do donkeys to Gyarados, right? Because Acrobatics, I'm holding an item, Supercell Slam, I can't do anything, and then I've got Dragon Claw, so that's a waste. So I thought, I'll go Terra Grass here, and I'll go for Terra Blast Grass. That'll resist Bulldoze, at least, and Waterfall and all that sort of stuff, so I should be able to take it out there. The only thing I was worried about was Ice Fang, but I felt like they probably would have, you know, used that already. So that's the end of Gyarados. We got 3 more Pokeball left. So, of course, in comes Grimmsnarl again for its daily Parting Shot. Or is it actually going to, you know, set up a screen this time? They may not even have screens, you know. So we're going to go to Miraidon 3, which had no health left. I just wanted to see what they were going to do here. And they're going to use Thunder Wave. I had a feeling they might have Thunder Wave or a status move apart from Parting Shot. I mean, it is a Grimmsnarl. So far they've used Parting Shot and Thunder Wave. And I thought, I don't think they've got Reflect or Light Screen. Unless they've got only Reflect, Light Screen, Thunder Wave, and Parting Shot. Like it's a full status set. I'd say they probably have an attacking move on there. Just one, but it could just be fully, you know, a fully prankster set, which I have seen before. All right, so I went for a Heavy Slam Wailord. I mean, a Heavy Slam on the Volcarona there, and I got burned. I was like, well, that sort of sucks. I'm Choice Banded here as well, but I thought, look, there's no point in me swapping it all. I know this is going to be a standard Quiver Dance set, but I did have an answer for this as well on my team. So Volcarona's going to get a special attack, special defense, and speed, you know, speed boost. Very, very powerful, you know, combination there. So at this stage, they know that I can live a Heavy Slam. They probably figured out that I'm a Choice Band set, and at least that I can't do a lot of damage to them. And they're going to get 2 Quiver Dances up here, right? Heavy Slam would have been really, really good on that Grimmsnarl. Would have done like 2 damage. Maybe it'd done a little bit more. I mean, Miraidon is quite a, I guess it's quite a heavy Pokemon. I'd say it's quite a heavy Pokemon. All right, Miraidon is down. Now I'm thinking it's time for the PIMPNITE special here. So, once again, the random kid on like Poke Portals, Focus Sash, Miracoat set is going to come in clutch here. Here comes the Bug Buzz. I actually lived that one, which surprised me. And Miracoat is going to fade us. That's excellent, right? So, that was my answer to that. Now, there's one more Pokemon left on their team, which was a bit of a worry, which was Dragapult. Now, Dragapult is very fast, and I thought, if you've got a Dragonet set, I'm going to go for Taunt, because that could be very, very bad. if it's a physical set. And it turned out it was, so that was a very, very good turn for me. So I thought, all right, I'm going to go for Parabolic Charge here. Let's get some damage. They're probably going to go for Dragon Darts, or they're going to try and swap back into Grimmsnarl. Like, I know they want that Dragon Dance upright. So I'm going to go for Parabolic Charge here. Grimmsnarl takes that absolutely disgustingly, and I'm going to get tons of health back. So like, all right, are you going to attack, or are you going to go Parting Shot again? But you know I've got Taunt, so are you just going to drop my stats or what? So they're going to go for Parting Shot again. So I was pretty much convinced by now that they didn't have screens at all. Like, I was 100% convinced they didn't have that at all. So Drag Up, if they had screens, it would have helped them out way, way too much, and they should have used it, right? That's what I'm thinking. So Parabolic Charge, it actually gets a nice fat crit there on Dragapult. Not that that really, I don't think that really changed a lot, because I did have a lot of super, I could one-shot this Pokemon fairly easily, right? That wasn't what I was worried about. It was more it going for Dragon Dance and then going for Dragon Darts and outspeeding my entire team, right? That's what I was concerned about. So Miraidon 1 is going to faint, but obviously I had to use Taunt there just in case they did go for Dragon Dance again. I had a strong feeling they wouldn't, but I had to, I had to do it. So I've got 3 more of these left. We've got the Miraidon Grass one. So this is Terra Blast Grass. It's also the Electro Ball set, and I thought I'll go for Thunder Wave here. We'll slow this down, all right? We'll see if we can slow this down, and they swap back into the Grimmsnarl again. Now, I mean, the Grimmsnarl Dragapult was not a bad combination there for, synergy. Sadly, I missed Thunder Wave. Now, I know this has got Thunder Wave. I was like, they're probably going to go for Thunder Wave, but I was like, that doesn't really bother me too much. That might, they may be inclined to try and go for a risky Dragon Dance against me, so I wasn't that worried. So I went for the Electro Ball, and obviously that's going to take out Grimmsnarl there. It's still a, still a very, very powerful move regardless. Last Pokemon is Dragapult. Now, this turn I was like, I bet you they're going to go for Dragon Dance, because to be fair, they've got nothing to lose here. They're going to lose otherwise if they don't get something going with its attack and speed, right? So they got their speed up, and I went for Thunder Wave this turn instead of attacking. I thought that was a better play to go for there. Now, I can't really do a lot. All of my moves are not very effective, and they went for another Dragon Dance. So they got 2 Dragon Dances up here. Now, I don't know what sort of EVs this thing was running, whether they're running max speed and attack, or they had a little bit of bulk or something. With Dragapult, a lot of the time, you don't, technically need max speed because it's that fast anyway. So I had I really didn't have a lot there. This week I was like, I'm going to go for agility. I'm going to outspeed them and finish them with that Electro Ball. I was like, I want to see if I can outspeed them still. Then they had U-Turn. I was like, oh, U-Turn and Dragon Dance? Bro, what? So I'll admit it, I didn't expect U-Turn because of Dragon Dance. It's not really the greatest, combination to go for. And they melted me with Dragon Darts. I think the animation got cut there, but they fainted me anyway, which I expected. Now I've got 2 Miraidons left, so I've got the physical set, and as I mentioned before, I had Dragon Claw on this. So this is actually quite a long battle. So we had 2 minutes left on the battle. I'm just going to go for Dragon Claw here, since it has such a low amount of health. I mean, to be fair, I think I would have done, I would have had to have done 3/4 of that regardless. And that's the end of Dragapult. And that's also the end of the battle. So GG's for my opponent. They held on pretty long there. But they had quite a few scary Pokemon too, for sure. Let's get on to our next battle, battle number 4. Yeah, 4. This is another random battle. This one is against Scott. And in the team preview, I've seen they had Garchomp. So it didn't really surprise me whatsoever that they led with it. Now, I'm going to go Taunt this first turn because I feel like Garchomp can go for Earthquake anytime, and they're probably going to go for an easy Stealth Rock, and that was a good prediction the first turn. So they can't set up their rocks here, so I thought, all right, I can't do a lot with that Miraidon. I might need Taunt a little bit later on. I might need my Focus Sash. Let's go into Miraidon number 4. Let's see what we can do here. Now, I was thinking about, I really was thinking, my physical set with weakness policy and stuff, I was thinking about swapping that into an Earthquake, but I'm glad I didn't because that would have wasted it. So it has Dragon Tail and it's got Stealth Rock, which, isn't that, it isn't exactly uncommon. So into Miraidon 2, again, I was forced to go into that. I can't do anything at all. I was like, I'm just going to go Terra Blast. I don't want to reveal my set too much to them. And I got some pretty good damage there. I was happy with that. And they're going to go for Dragon Tail again. I'm like, do they actually even have Earthquake? Like, why are they not going for Earthquake for? It's odd, right? I know they've got Stealth Rock and Dragon Tail combination, but surely they have Earthquake on them. So at the moment, I'm just getting dragged out. I mean, they're probably thinking, oh, I can't use any electric moves here. They were a little bit lucky because this first couple of turns, it kept swapping me into the sets that didn't have dragon moves, so I couldn't use a dragon move on them, you know what I mean? So they actually were pretty lucky there that, you know, I didn't have one with a dragon move. Any other Miraidon would have already fainted this Garchomp a long time ago, you know? So I just wanted to show them that I didn't have any dragon moves there. I don't know if they got the memo, but they had Earthquake on this set as well, obviously, right? So that's the end of Miraidon. Very, very unlucky start there, not getting, you know, just one that had some sort of coverage move. We're going to go to Miraidon number 5 now. This is my Throat Spray set. So I thought I'm just going to go for Dragon Pulse and get rid of this Garchomp because now you know, they've had enough luck already and it's annoying, right? It's an annoying counter. So we're going to get rid of that. So now I can actually, now they're going to actually have to, you know, do something. So next Pokemon's going to be Greninja. Greninja has quite a variety of moves it can use against me. So I went for Electro Drift here. Just to see what they would have, and you know, it had a sash, so I wasn't too surprised about that because I found it a little bit sus. They sent that in before the other Pokemon. The move they had is Ice Beam, which didn't surprise me too much either. I was hoping I didn't get frozen though, so they're going to follow that with a Water Shuriken. It's not going to do a lot of damage there. It's not loaded dice or anything, so it's only going to do 2 hits. Even 5 hits would have done very little. Snarl was going to faint the not the Grim Snarl. Think about that. That Grim Snarl on my head for the last battle. You know, it was there for ages. We're going to take Greninja out. Next Pokemon's Pelipper. There is a Pokemon that's going to benefit a lot from this on their team. Now, I thought at this point, well, you're either going to go Terra Ground here, or you're just going to swap it out. So I was like, is there much point me not going for Electro Drift here? Really? I may as well just go for it. If they're Terra Ground, then so be it. But they've got Crawdon. So Crawdon, that's not going to be good for Crawdon. It's going to get one-shotted. So that is the end of Crawdon. Now, I was interested to see how my opponent could handle this now, because they'd lost their easy counters with Garchomp and stuff, and they had Barret Scooters like, oh, this is good. They're going to be able to give me a really good, you know, a really good battle with this now, because this outspeeds me with Swift Swim, and it's a pretty hard-hitting Pokemon. And I was also curious, what Terra do they have on here? Do they have a super effective Terra? If they do, this is going to give them a really huge advantage. And they did. They had Terra Fairies. I'm like, okay, good. This is good. This is going to give me a really good, a really good battle here. So they've got Terra Blast Fairy, which is super effective against my entire team, and they also outspeed me as well. And they've got the Rainer. Now, typically, Barret Scooter is a great Swift Swim Pokemon. It commonly does run Choice Band as well. I wasn't 100% sure if they had it, but you know, there's probably a good chance that it did. So I swapped in the Miraidon 2 here. I thought I might try and stall this Rain out a bit. This set, I can't do a lot with it anymore. I'm sort of convinced it's going to be worthless, so I just let them kill this Miraidon here. Terra Fairy actually looks, you know, pretty cool there. So that's the end of Miraidon 2, obviously. And I've got one other Miraidon which I thought wasn't going to be, wasn't going to be all that good either. So I swapped that into just to sort of stall out the Rain. I was sort of counting the turns I had left as well, and I was kind of coming up with a plan to, to get around this. So both my Miraidons were down now, so I'd stalled out the 2 turns that I wanted to, and I had 2 left. So I thought, all right, this turn I know exactly what to do now. I'm going to go and use my terrible physical Miraidon with heavy slam steel. So I was like, this is going to be my moment. And then they swapped it like, bro, all you had to do was press the A button. I don't know. I think I spooked them there or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know why they swapped. All they had to do was press A. So maybe they thought, oh, here's the full health Miraidon. I'm going to go for a Terra or something. But sadly, they swapped it like into Gudra Hisuian. And this was like the worst thing that could ever sort of happen here, because I was locked into heavy slam. against it and I was going to do no damage. I was like, man, this sucks. I would have loved to have fainted. Like, that fish is like super light as well. Would have been the best meme KO ever. Anyway, so I swapped out Miraidon 3. I thought I still might be able to use that for, Barraskewda. Won't be able to use Terra Blast on that. And I went into my physical Miraidon here. So I thought, you've probably got some sort of dragon type move here. Maybe you will go for that and activate my weakness policy. So Flamethrower in the rain does a quality damage there. I went for Sword Dance here. I thought I've got absolutely nothing to lose. Let's get that going. And I've got weakness policy as well, so I'm going to be able to live that really well because, Miraidon's got some great special defense. So that's instantly +4 in attack. I'm like, sweet. Now I've got a good chance of getting around Goodra, see what I did there? So I've got, the electricity is going to disappear, which kind of sucks. And I've got Dragon Claw, so I thought, I'll go for Dragon Claw. This should do good damage. Almost took it out. It was very, very impressive for a physical Miraidon. Really, really impressive. Goodra's got some insane defenses as well. So my last Pokemon is the Choice Banded Heavy Slam Miraidon. So I'm like, I can't go for Heavy. I really wanted to finish Barraskewda off with Heavy Slam, but no, I can't go for that. It probably won't even take out Goodra, and then I've got Pelipper to deal with. So I had to lock myself into Supercell Slam, which kind of sucked. Not that it was bad, because I knew that I could take them all out. It's just like, I wanted to use Heavy Slam. So in comes Pelipper for its early retirement. So that's going to take Pelipper's entire family tree out, right? I thought, well, the next Pokemon, they're definitely going to send in Goodra next, because I might miss with my attack. Plus, they probably guess that I am running a physical set. Not that many people run a Choice Band set, but they probably figured that out, why I swapped earlier. Last Pokemon is Barraskewda. This is, going to outspeed me. This is the fastest Pokemon in the game with a rate up. And yeah, there's a critical hit, so I'm not going to be able to use my attacking move. But very, very close battle there. I knew that Barraskewda would give my team a lot of problems if it was Terra Fairy, so GG's there anyway. My only regret is I wasn't able to use Heavy Slam on that fish. All right, let's get on to battle number 5 here. This is a battle against Ryusei. Did I say it right? I'm not sure. First Pokemon is going to be Terrapagus. Terrapagus, obviously came up a lot here. I was actually a little bit disappointed. I was like, I wish I had my Miracoat set, because this would be perfect. I could try and one-shot them. However, instead of making use of their ability, they're just going to Timmy Terra turn 1. So like, oh, okay. So first thing I thought is, like, you've probably got Earth Power. That's a great move to use against Miraidon. You get the initial boost as well. So I went for Thunder Wave here because I was leading with my Electro Ball set. And as you know, Terrapagus isn't really that fast Pokemon, and that'd be great. Also, they got rid of my Electric Terrain, which kind of sucked too, so that kind of powered it down a lot. They also got a Special Defense drop there, which really, really sucks. So I went for Electro Ball. If I had the Electric Terrain up, that would have killed us. And then they baited me with the Earth Power. So a little bit unlucky there, but that's how it is, right? At least it's on a low amount of health. So we're going to go back into Miraidon, my physical Miraidon. I thought, this is great. I can see if I can get a sweep here. Question 2, are you still watching this video? And would you like to see, I actually haven't done a Miraidon and Koraidon sweep yet on my channel, because I was actually holding back for the shinies and I wanted to make some sets that would be fun. So I'd love to try and get a sweep with this set here, because it will take some actual skill to pull this off. And if I got a Koraidon set too, I was thinking maybe I could try that 1 HP meme set there and give that a shot. So would you like to see those ones done? I didn't actually get them while I tried this team out, but I can actively go for them and try and get them at some stage. So we're going to finish it off with Acrobatics. I've got all the boosts I could ever want there from the Terrapagus, so that was good. Now, on their team, they did have some pretty scary Pokemon too, not going to lie. They had a Zacian. So Zacian is a little bit faster than Miraidon, so it's like, gee, I don't know if I'm going to outspeed this if they've got Jolly Nature, and they do. So that is going to fate me with the Behemoth Blade. I probably set that in a little bit early there, but I thought, gee, it's a pretty good opportunity to get a weakness policy. If they were running Adamant, then I would have been okay, but it was definitely Jolly. We're going to go into Miraidon 4 here. As you know, this is the physical set. So they're going to go for Sword Dance, which is pretty scary on Zacian. Now, I went for Thunder Wave. Thank goodness it didn't miss. That would have been very bad. So I've got the Paralyze, which is good. Now, I was thinking, well, you're just going to use Play Rough, I guess. That's going to be really good against my entire team. I went for Confuse Ray. I really wanted... after that Rillaboom battle, I was like, I need to redeem myself with this set. Let's make Zacian hit itself for Confusion, right? I was actually low-key hoping they keep going for Sword Dance. Anyway, so we had that Parafusion going here, and they went for Behemoth Blade. Like, oh, okay. I thought you'd just go for Play Rough. So that tells me they don't have a Fairy-type move. So I'd say they've got something like Crunch, Behemoth Blade, Sword Dance, and maybe a fighting move. On that, maybe close combat, but they would have done more than Behemoth Blade. So that was a bit interesting to me. Anyway, I got a hit in Confusion there on the Zacian, which was great. And I had Zen Headbutt. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's get some damage here, guys. This is also a no restrictions battle too, so the Pokemon were elevated up to level 100. If you didn't notice that one already. So we got some more Confusion here. I was really hoping for a hit on Zacian. I had like one chance here with my Substitute to be able to, tank one hit, and then I could proceed to just spam Zen Headbutt afterwards. I didn't want to, obviously, I didn't want to, well, I couldn't anyway. I couldn't go for the Terra Psychic for more damage. So, some quality damage there from Zen Headbutt again, hoping for Zacian to take itself out with Confusion, and then it hits. I'm like, yes, this is great. So I need like one more hit here, and I think I've got them good. So going for Zen Headbutt, going for a scummy flinch, and then they snapped out of Confusion and finished me off. Like, oh, this set just, I don't know, I just never got the right luck with this set in most of the battles. I think one battle was okay, but I never really got those back-to-back Confusion hits and stuff like that. We're going to go to Miraidon 3, and we're going to finish off this Zacian here. Things are not looking good, though, at all. So I've got the physical set, I've got Supercell Slam. I was going to go for Heavy Slam Disrespect, but I didn't do it this time. I felt like Zacian would, what if it lived it, So that's the end of Zacian. Next Pokemon we got is going to be Miraidon. I did do a 6 Miraidon video yesterday, if you want to check that one out too. So Miraidon, I've got Supercell Slam for. I didn't really want to swap out either. I was like, man, one of my Miraidons is going to take a ton of damage to the thing. Is it going to use a Dragon Claw, Scale Shot, Collision Course? I'd say they'll go for a Dragon move, but I wasn't 100%. So I went for Supercell Slam. That was actually a really good amount of damage. And then that Scale Shot, I'm like, oh no, this is really, 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 really bad. Because this is a great counter to my team, right? Really, I had quite a few battles where opponents would have, they'd have powerful legendary Pokemon too, and they'd have like loaded dice Scale Shot sets, and I'd reuse my Terra, and they just had to press A, It was a big counter to this team. So I went to Miraidon 5 here. As you know, Miraidon 5 is the speedy set, so I thought, well, there's only one option here. I absolutely have to go for Terra Fairy here, because they're gonna win there. They don't have to do anything. So I actually thought about going for Snarl and then going for Terra Blast afterwards, but I thought if I get too greedy here, I might get not paralyzed. I might get critted or something, and then my last Pokemon won't be able to deal with it. So I decided to go for the Terra Fairy here, and I figured that Terra Blast or Dragon Pulse was going to be more than enough to take this out in like 2 hits. So here comes the Scale Shot, which they're not going to be able to use, which is good. This is like my defensive Miraidon as well, just for any Dragon type moves. It was very, very good for that. So bye-bye Miraidon. So many Miraidons and Miraidons today. The next Pokemon we've got here is going to be Petron. So Petron, I've got Snarl for, so I thought this will be good. I know you're going to go for Malignant Chain, but I'm going to be able to live that. And if I don't get Poison Puppeteer won't activate, and I won't get confused, right? And I got a crit there. Well, not that it really mattered because I could one-shot this anyway. It wasn't really much of a threat. But the main thing here is when they use Malignant Chain against me, if I didn't get Poison, I was in a prime position then to do a lot of damage. So I didn't get Poison, and then, they couldn't get that Confusion against me there. So that was a really, really, really good, very, very good position here. So I actually could, try and feint the last 2 Pokemon. So that is the end of Petron's going to get absolutely melted there. I do have one Miraidon left in the back too, because I was a little bit concerned about the opposing Miraidon, you know what I mean? So this is going to be a speed tie. And I was like, well, I got Terra Blast Fairy. Let's go for that. But they won the speed tie. I was like, oh, damn it. So that is going to be the end of Miraidon 5 there. And I've got one more Miraidon left. So I thought, all right, I've got an idea. And it's the Miraidon set again, you know, right? So I wasn't sure. I was like, that was either a speed type or they were a Choice Scarf set. Because Choice Scarf Miraidon's very, very good. You know, you got Electro Drift and Volt Switch and stuff too. So I went for that. And as I expected, they are a Choice Scarf set, right? That did donkeys, but since they're locked into it, they're going to have to keep going for it, right? And I thought, I don't think they're going to swap their last Pokemon in because it's actually weak to me. So they kept spamming Electro Drift over and over there. So I was actually able to feint them with a double Miraidon. So that was awesome. So even if they got a crit there, I was good. I was golden, right? So bye-bye Miraidon. Last Pokemon we got here is going to be Lugia. Now, this is a really, really interesting kind of matchup here. And interesting things actually happen you won't get to see very often. First, I taunted Lugia because Lugia is obviously a very bulky Pokemon. I went for Psychic Noise here. So this is a very bulky Lugia, absolutely nothing in its offenses. So I couldn't use Parabolic Charge thanks to its attack, right? So it's like, oh no, I'm done, right? So I went for Charge here because it only lasts for one turn, and I bolstered my special defense. They had Aero Blast, that did donkeys. So they pretty much couldn't do any damage to me at all. So now I was able to attack without the healing. So I went for Parabolic Charge. I got a fat crit there, almost taking them out and healing myself up a lot. Their move, of course, is going to be Psychic Noise because that'll block me from healing. So Psychic Noise blocks you from healing and using healing moves there, as you got to see. So a very, very interesting interaction there. So I went for Taunt here because I smelled a rat. I'm like, I bet you they've got Recover on their set. And then the moment they got taunted, that was the end of the battle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace out.